Hey, everybody, welcome back to the 10th floor. It's me, Matt.
It's me, Kat.
Hi, everybody. Get the
Hi,
heck
guys.
out of that waiting room, everybody. Climb on into that elevator. We're going all the way up to the 10th floor to talk about this week's General Hospital epic huge week, as it always is. So much, and yet nothing always happens. And here we are yet again to dig through it
Here we are.
all. I mean, we get Finn and Elizabeth cover art this week. Big week for them. The reconnection, the redo, part 2, Finn and Elizabeth. Very definitely upon us. Cyrus has given away everything. They have burned down the Chandler mansion, which was Anna's house now. And not really
I
the Chandler
know.
mansion anymore. But they used that set after
Yeah.
All My Children ended for Anna's house, and it's burned to smithereens.
And I said to Grandma when we were watching it, I
Yeah.
said, "Oh, I'm actually going to miss that set. I thought it was a great
I mean,
set."
it's such a classic. It's been a part of our lives for decades. But, it's not just us. Amelia's here, Mary is here, Estee is here, Stephanie is here, and I'm sure there's plenty more coming. Climbing out of that
Mm-hmm.
waiting room, taking multiple elevators up to the 10th floor. When you get off, you're going to look to the left, and you're going to see, like, Mason getting stitched up in the back of the head because he took a bottle.
You sure did.
Carly just, I don't know, reliving, like, Roadhouse with Patrick Swayze youth. uh, and Maxie's going to move. Um, Dante and Sam are just beautiful together at all times, and they're just
They
amazing.
are actually beautiful together. They
Amelia just got her
are.
tickets to Graceland. Congratulations,
Who
Amelia.
did?
Amelia, very, very, very expensive endeavor.
Amelia. I'm just surprised that I have just not turned a beautiful shade of Grinch green, okay? Because I'm so jealous.
It's me. It's really me. Ma really wants to be able to go to this thing, but I'm holding her back. It's my scheduling. What can I say? I've got flimsy
Yeah.
excuses. Uh, but we'll try to make it happen though for the podcast at some point. Maybe next year. Maybe next year. It's a popular thing. They'll do it again.
Maybe 2024 is our year for that.
Yeah, and then we can really get going, and we can have the 10th floor help us out as well. See what we can do when it comes to private Zoom events and tickets and all kinds of little swag and cool little anecdotal things that we could pick up from Graceland in a year.
Yeah.
Gotta take some planning. Gotta take some real planning. Make sure that it's perfect for the 10th floor audience.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
uh, but yeah,
You guys are our crew
yeah,
for sure.
for sure. But over to the left, Mason's getting his head stitched up, and over to the right, Elizabeth is being the head nurse.
She sure is. She's busy.
She's busy, she got a
She
lot of
is
stuff
so
to do.
busy.
She got
She
a lot
got
of
to
stuff
go
to do.
upstairs and,
Happy
have her
Sunday.
spot, right? Elizabeth has her little spot
She does.
that Finn was sitting in. Yeah. Where she goes and centers herself again because she's head nurse and it's very stressful.
Yes, absolutely. She needs to be able to center herself. She needs to be able to find a moment, to be able to just purge it all from her, I don't know, just stressful life.
I think Elizabeth and Finn, this go around is just so much better. Don't you agree?
Yeah. Yes, absolutely yes. And we're going to cover all those details because they had a wonderful conversation this week that really, what was it last? It was this week, right? Was it this week where they had the dinner
I think
together,
it
right?
was the one he was sitting in her spot.
Well, I mean, there was sitting in the spot stuff, which was Friday, which was beautiful, which was wonderful. The stars are beautiful. Yeah, they certainly are. Staring right at her. Um, there's all that. But then, it was either at the tail end of last week or early on this week where they had dinner together, and they were going
Mm-hmm.
over it all. Was it this week? I don't remember. It's hard for me to tell what happens at any week in General Hospital anymore because I've been watching it for so long now.
Yeah.
Krista thought that Friday was good for hashtag web with two B's MD. That's a good little nickname for him, WebMD. That's funny.
Yeah.
I thought this really helped the bond between them on a much deeper emotional level. Excellent work. Applause.
I agree.
Yeah. Oh my God. Has Michael Easton has just like turned it up, hasn't he? It's like he's connecting with material and likes it a lot better.
That's what it appears.
I mean, it sucks to say, but it does become obvious every once in a while if an actor's just not engaged with the content that they're given. I mean, there's certain people, and this isn't being hateful or anything. Everybody's going there and trying their best, of course. But people like Laura Wright is very famous for it. Rebecca Herbst is also very famous for it. Well, they'll take the script and they're just gonna do it. They're gonna do it.
Exactly.
They're gonna connect with it. They're gonna engage with it. They don't care what it is, but they're gonna bring
You're
it.
gonna
Carly
gonna
is
sell
always
it.
going to be good and authentic. Elizabeth is always going to be good and authentic. Other
Hmm.
people not as stable. Just in my review observations when it comes to the ability to bring it with the engagement of the material. Michael Easton doesn't seem to have been very engaged with what's been going on. Kelly Monaco, of course, like you could see her just running on fumes working with Steve Burton at a certain point.
Oh my gosh. Yes. I mean, I think that's who I thought of.
Hmm.
That's who I thought of when you were talking, is I thought of her
Yeah.
because the contrast of Sam now
Yeah.
compared to when Steve Burton was there is so different.
There's this particular scene that stands out to me that I remember from back when Sam and Jason were in their big throws again. Once Jason, excuse me, lots of talking this morning. Catch dates for dummies. Excuse me. But I remember in their second
Drink the
little go
drink.
around, their second little go around, when Jason came back,
Mhm.
after he was patient six and stuff, and Jason
Yeah.
and Sam came together, but the parole officer was like, "You can't be in the same room together, you two."
Right.
When Sam was on parole for killing Shiloh.
Yes.
And I remember they had this reaction scene where Jason was just broken up about it in his penthouse, and Sam was broken up about it in one of the cabins or one of the safe houses, and she just
Hmm.
wrecked that thing. She tore that
Hmm.
set apart and broke things and threw furniture and all that kind of stuff because she was so
Hmm.
angry that Sam wasn't going to be able to hang out with Jason anymore.
Hmm.
And that was like really stand out because everything else around that rage filled destruction of the set was just so bleh.
Hmm.
Whatever. Hey Jeannie. Hey Amelia, Liz. Ah,
Well, the biggest reason, one of the biggest reasons why I think that they don't really click as individuals,
yeah,
is
they don't like each other.
she's never been on um Stone Cold and the Jacket.
It doesn't seem like they have a close personal relationship.
It
I
doesn't appear
can't
that
say,
way.
oh, they don't like each other. It's, sensationalizing stuff and making stuff up, which we do on the 10th floor. But not this time. I'm not going to make that up. I have no idea what their personal feelings are with one another, other than maybe just indifference. I don't know. But when it comes to like any sort of like behind the scenes friendship or promotional stuff together, like you can see Eden McCoy and Evan Hoffer on Instagram and
Her.
Twitter. Hofer? Is it
Yeah.
Hofer? Hofer? I don't know. Have you heard it said?
Can be Hopper.
I've always said Hoffer. You guys tell me in the chat. Is it Hoffer or Hofer?
It's
You
probably
probably know
Hopper.
better than me. It's probably Hoffer. But
Probably Hopper.
in any case, um, so they're constantly on Twitter and Instagram together, taking cutesy pictures on the beach and feeding each other ice cream and all this kind of stuff to just feed into the coupling that they have. There's all kinds of
Yep.
people that, oh, they're really dating. All that kind of, I haven't seen anything that's confirmed that. I think they've really figured out how to sell it. I do. I think that they're like, hey, we're two beautiful people. Let's take some beautiful pictures together. The fans are gonna love it.
Yep.
And
And they would love for I think they would love for their courtship on General Hospital to catch fire like Sprina.
well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Okay, we have very isolated view as to what the people out there are saying about GH, because the primary thing that we look at is Twitter, and Twitter is very, very, very Sprina heavy. But it's not necessarily Sprina heavy everywhere else. There's discussions about General Hospital. Finn and Elizabeth are really warming up. I mean, there's still going to be 70% of people out there saying no, move on.
Hmm.
But that's down from the 89% that was saying it before.
Hmm.
Um, so that's warming up a little bit. They're starting to gather a little steam and get a little bit of interest out there with people who understand and like soaps and are giving this the chance because they're going to engage with the material every time. That's how some
Hmm.
people approach the show, and it's great. It's wonderful. I love it.
Yep.
So I think that Jex is a lot more popular than it might seem when it comes to looking at Twitter. Um,
I see. So
you know,
you think we're getting just a skewed.
we're getting a skewed, and we're also getting a skewed look when it comes to just when it comes just it's just a negative platform. It's where people go to complain the most. I mean, it's not like you can avoid it. Facebook, you're gonna find all kinds of people that are saying this, that, or the other thing. The show is bad. This is bad. These people are dumb. Um, Kill that because this is good. But when it
Uh-huh.
comes down to it, when it comes to like the extreme criticism of General Hospital and like the wild accusations, it seems, when it comes to what is going on behind the scenes or why decisions are made, or like I've seen people say, oh, Sprina accidentally caught fire and now the show is trying to put it out, which makes absolutely no logical sense at all. I've seen commentary, well, they invented Sprina and then they invented Jex because they wanted Jex to be better than Sprina, but it's not. And so they're doing everything they can to separate Spencer and Trina from each other. And all of these accusations of what they're doing on the plot, why they're doing it, when it comes to racism, when it comes to holding people back, when it comes to giving up on actors because they're moving on from the show, all kinds of different I don't know
Mm-hmm.
where this information comes from because it doesn't seem legitimate, you know?
I think a lot of it, maybe like a sentence or two they heard or read uh might send them there, a little bit,
In my
but then
experience,
they make it bigger.
so there's this, it's very true because I've run into it a bunch of times myself, recently a lot. You put your foot out there in the world of Twitter and it's just gonna happen this way every time. It's called an echo chamber, which is
Mhm.
basically one person saying something and then somebody who follows that account says the same thing, says the same thing, says the same thing until, in this chamber, pretty much every
Mhm.
account in this area is saying the exact same thing, which is just flaming their own opinion about it. Oh, look how many people are saying this. Oh,
Mhm.
look how much is going on. Look how many people agree with this. When it really was just one person one time saying one thing. And
Mhm.
then it catches. And that person could be way wrong, but the echo
Mhm.
chamber makes it real.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So I think that's what we run into a lot when it comes to Twitter. I've been misunderstood and that it has become fact on Twitter several times over. Several times over. Especially because people start getting into the conversation without including the original poster. They'll
Mhm.
start saying, vague references to things. I think it's called subtweeting. I don't know exactly what the nomenclature is, but anyway, it's a
Mhm.
wild world of just misinformation. So be careful out there is what I'm basically getting at. Um, Jax is a lot more popular than it might seem if you're just only looking at Twitter. What's the whole point of that? They're on fire. They got it figured out. They know how to work it on the camera, off the camera, and just keep the conversation going, keep the fire going, keep people saying, wow, those two are hot. I wish they had a little bit more than just being hot at this point.
Me
Because
too.
we get it. I think at this point we get it.
Yeah. We don't, yeah. Um, and I was wondering, I said, I'm thinking to myself, I've just seen enough Jocelyn and Dex sex. I've just seen enough.
There's been enough of that.
I'm comfortable with presuming they're hitting each other like 3, 4 times a week.
We can
I'm
just
fine with
assume
just
that at
knowing.
this point.
I can just know that. Okay. I can just know that. It's okay. But I'm afraid that we're going to see a lot more of that because Trina done moved out of the dorm and went home.
Oh goodness. Well, I
So
mean, yeah.
what's that mean? Joss didn't move home, did she?
I mean, she hasn't been seen in that dorm in ages, though.
No. But now that Trina don't live there unless they give her a new roommate.
Carly's gonna sell the house ultimately, which she's not. But ultimately, she's gonna sell the house, and then Joss will just buy it.
Sure, she got all kinds of money.
Yeah, she got all kinds of money. She's old enough to own a house now.
She sure could.
Just do it. Yeah, that'll be what happens. And
Why
then
not?
Carly can live with Joss, and then Joss will be like, "Well, you're under my house, under my roof. You're gonna follow my rules, Carly.
Yeah.
You're
And
a
first
renter."
thing we're going to do, Mom, is get rid of this damn mossy thing.
No, we take it to Kelly's. Did you send
Well,
that thing off?
you guys, speaking of that, I didn't track my package. I did send Laura her succulents. Did?
Succulents and her mossy uh
Yes.
plant water plant. I don't know
Yes.
what the hell those things are called.
Okay. Yes, I did send it to her. I didn't track it. So, but Laura's not going to get it in her room, in her dressing room and open it that day. I'll be lucky if she opens it at all. I don't know how she is with that kind of stuff. I'm kind of making a presumption.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, we haven't heard yet, but I did send it on Monday. And yeah.
Oh, I'm sure it's arrived at the studio
Now,
by now.
let me tell you a little, because this is funny, and Matt, this is your sister to the T.
Okay.
Okay. So I sent this little note to Laura, and in the note I put succulents remind me of a Spencer woman, blah 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 blah. Succulents.
Mm-hmm.
I spelt it incorrectly.
Okay.
And I was like, no, I'm not, I'm not going. She goes, and your sister's so funny. She texts me, Mom, because I took a picture of the letter and sent it to her and stuff. I was excited. Yeah. And then she's like, Mom, can I tell you something? And I knew, okay, both of Matthew's siblings are teachers, both of them. And we often refer to his sister as the grammar Nazi.
It's not very polite to call somebody a Nazi, but you get it. You get it.
Yeah. It's my daughter. I can do that. Anyway, so then I'm like, I'm not opening this thing back up, but now I have to know, what is it? Mm-hmm. And I thought it was going to be a grammar thing. She goes, Mom, the way you spelled succulent is the sac that your individual organs are in your body.
I've never even heard of the word succulent when it comes to the sacs of the organs.
Yeah. So I misspelled succulent.
Succulent?
Well, that's not the way I spelled it.
Well, whatever. Who cares?
And it kept on auto-correcting.
You know who really doesn't give a crap?
Laura.
I don't.
And you?
I don't. You think Laura Wright's going to read that thing and go, oh, burn it.
Oh, hell no.
Burn this thing.
Okay, I was reminded. Actually, I thought about this. And I'm not saying anything about Laura Wright's ability to spell, okay? But she was discovered working in her daddy's gas station.
Okay.
She's not a teacher like my daughter.
No.
Chances are she will not notice the word succulent is spelled incorrectly. You sent me the note, meaning the bag that your organs are in.
That's ridiculous. I mean, what is she, a doctor from General Hospital?
Anyway,
I read the note and I didn't even recognize it. Who cares? Whatever.
Well, that's what I thought to myself. As I said, okay, Matt already read this note. He didn't say nothing, and he would have said something, probably.
I just didn't notice.
Yeah, I misspelled it. It's the lining around your organs. That's the way I spelled it.
Hey, Amelia, Laura will get the package. It's just up to her whether or not she wants to open it or not. They get their mail. I can guarantee you that. I can tell you that.
And Matt and I have sent other things there before. We've sent a couple of the coffee mugs. So and they received them and said something. So yes.
She'll get the package, whether or not she wants to keep it or not. It'll get there. Jeannie says they open all the gifts for us anyway. They make perfect sense. They're not going to just have the actor open up an Anthrax box or something. So,
that's true.
They're gonna open it and see what it is and all that kind of stuff. But she'll get it. She'll get it. That's all. We just thought it was cute, and it would be fun if she posted it on Twitter. But that's just my promotional mind.
Oh, well, my dream is that it's on the stinking counter or
Wouldn't
on
that
a
be something? I mean,
something.
Usually things like that don't happen. Elizabeth and Jason fans sent furniture to the GH set. They wanted to decorate Jake's nursery.
Really?
Elizabeth was pregnant with him. They sent a whole nursery worth of furniture to the studio. And the studio said, thank you so much, and donated all of that furniture to a charity. Because
that was the right thing to do with it if you weren't going to use it.
Yeah, because they're like, we appreciate the passion. We did not ask you to do this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's one of those things. So.
Well, that's interesting. And just one more real life thing. I did go to Crocodiles and I did shake my groove thing, and we had a blast.
Yes, you did. I'm glad that you had a great time for your birthday. So happy birthday, Ma. We said it last week. We're going to say it again this week. Happy birthday.
I had a lot of fun. I danced and danced and danced,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it was so fun. And at one point, I was down on the dance floor with Matt's dad and sister, and he was dancing with both of us, and he twirled the two of us at the same time. It was so fun.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. All right. Well, last personal life note, we're going to jump right back into the show because the chat is still talking about the fire and who did it and all that kind of stuff. And, we're gonna dive right into that as well.
Okay.
But anyway, hey Kelly, you're not here again this week. Hopefully you're here next week. And Chandra is spending some time taking care of a family member who recently had a surgery, emergency surgery. So thoughts and prayers with Chandra and her family right now. And she asks us to mention it to the chat as well. So if you have any sort of positive vibes to put out there into the universe in however way that you do it, Chandra's family is open to that right now.
Oh, I love that, Chandra. And let us know what your family members' name is, their first name. I would love to know because I will pray. And when I pray, I love to know the person's name.
Yeah, so reach out to us, Chandra. So anyway, they burned down Chandler Mansion.
They sure did.
Now, in my heart, in my dreams, in my mind, she just lived in Chandler Mansion after Adam moved out. Because he left town. He left town with Brooke. JR is doing whatever it is he's doing. The house is empty. So Anna moved into it, and she just commutes from Pine Valley to Port Charles. And then when people need to go see her, they just go to Pine Valley. That's just how it is in my brain.
I'm going to miss that set. I'm going to miss that set. It was Chandler Mansion. The living room was Chandler Mansion. Yeah. Now, the staircase that's Dorian's house.
Okay, so One Life to Live is a stair. So they took elements of the Lord house, right? Dorian Lord.
Mm-hmm.
So they took elements of the Lord house, elements of the Chandler house once those shows were over, and said Anna needs a gigantic home. Anna needs a mansion that's too big for her.
Dorian's house wasn't the Lord house.
Oh, okay.
A different house. She didn't live there anymore. But at the top of the stairs was this, of course, on General Hospital, it's not there, but this, very beautiful oil painting of Dorian was at the top of the stairs. Yeah. And then they split off.
Okay.
At the landing, and then it split off in two different directions.
Wouldn't it be great if they took the Chancellor Mansion and the Chandler Mansion and then put it all together? That would have been great. Amelia says it looked like a museum. The Kramer Mansion, says Melissa. I don't know if that means anything to you.
Yes.
There we go.
Yes.
There we go. The Kramer Mansion, the Chandler Mansion, put those together. You got Anna's house, which is a burned. Yeah, was it Wild Wind? No, Wild Wind was where Edmund lived.
Yes. That's Edmund and Maria's house.
Yeah, Edmund, Maria, Dimitri lived there. That was the house near the well that Natalie was thrown down.
Sure is.
Oh, gosh. Anyway, the Chandler Mansion was just called the Chandler Mansion because Adam was just like, you're going to call things after me.
Yes.
Name everything. Chandler Enterprises, Chandler Mansion, Adam Chandler Jr. Everything's got my name.
It's true. It was that way. So, Matt, speaking of them, okay. Of course, there's a couple of things that I'm sure all of us thought of. For one thing, if someone's shooting at you, you don't go on a run at night by yourself. That's just dumb. Okay.
The only thing that I can say to that is that Anna was like, well, they're not going to do the same thing twice when she was talking to Dante.
Grandma said something that made me think, maybe she's trying to wash them out. She's trying to bring them out.
Maybe.
Yeah. To show themselves, and she badass and all, she'd be able to handle it. Maybe she was trying to draw them out. Maybe.
That makes sense to me.
But I thought going on a run alone at night when someone just shot at you is kind of lame.
It's dumb move.
Yeah, and she didn't even lock the damn door. They just walked right in.
Yeah, well, maybe she planned. Maybe she did it herself.
Maybe. Anyway, you can tell. I thought from the frame, not the way they were dressed, not the shoes or the way they were dressed, but from the small feet and the small frame, I think that's a chick in there. with
Yeah,
that accelerant.
yeah. That's what the chat was saying as well. It really seems like it was. It seems like a slender female form that was running through that house, dumping the kerosene, lighting a blaze.
I don't know, but this is what I want. I want it to be Alex.
That's also what the chat was saying. Look at you, thinking the same wavelength as
I want
our
it to be
adoring
Alex.
listening and watching audience.
Yeah, I don't see the chat, y'all, so I don't know what you've all been saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want it to be Alex. I think that would be delicious.
I think that would be good too. That would be great. That'd be great. I love Alex. I love Alex. You know what? I remember at the convention, it was like, oh man, you played Alex thing. It was good. That scene, she fell off the boat. I put the memory of Peter in you so you could raise him, and you didn't. That's why I hate you now. And she said that she had a great time doing that. So and of course, Finola, he was just happy to do whatever it is. They give. Oh, MFG shouts, Melissa, watch it be Esme. Come on, it's not gonna be Esme.
No, I don't think it's going to be Esme. But I think I've heard a couple of rumblings about it possibly being Cassandra Pierce.
Oh, that's another name that came up in the chat, Ma.
So maybe. But I don't know.
My name is Cassandra Pikeman now.
I really do want it to be Alex. I want us to start of a new Alex chapter. And she finally made it back home because she's still pissed about her kid.
And then you tried to kill me, sister. But who sells kerosene nowadays? Asked Genie. I think kerosene's still available at most hardware stores.
How do we know it isn't gas?
I mean, it could have been gas. It could have been
gasoline.
It could have been whiskey.
It could be a number of things.
It could have been Carolyn wants to know why Alex. Melissa says it's because Alex's body was never found, and yeah, because Alex is fun. Because why not?
Alex is fun.
The evil twins are always a good idea.
Oh, evil twins are delicious.
And then Melissa follows that up saying that Peter had dainty ankles, just saying. So yeah, maybe this is a dude that just skips leg day. It's a big thing. It's a big thing in the bodybuilder world. Don't skip leg day because you don't want to have like this jacked upper body and just spaghetti legs, do you?
I think, well, no, you don't. And it could be maybe, I don't know, maybe it's Griffin and he's pissed.
Yeah, skinny ankle Griffin. It's like, oh, you didn't let me live here because you're my mom, and I know you're my mom, but you don't know you're my mom, so I'm going to burn your house down, so you have to come, like, find me or something. I'm Griffin. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Or it was that nurse that fell in the hole. Remember the nurse, Kimberly J. Brown, that fell in the hole?
Yes.
There you go. That's who it was.
Well, all I know is General Hospital, I don't want it to be Christmas before we know, okay?
I mean, it is August. It is going to be Christmas before we know it.
Right?
Guys just skip leg day, look like Foghorn Leghorn. Well, I say, I gave it all away for you, brother. I say, you told me to give all your money to a charity, brother, and I say I did it. I say.
One of them just happens to be the Martin Gray Fund.
One of them just happens to be my own personal bank account. And by one of them, I mean all of them. And I now have all your money, Si, because I need to marry Lucy, you see.
Lucy. Yeah. I could see a flip in those brothers. I could see a heel turn
Martin
in the
making
brothers.
shady choices, and Cyrus now being now brother.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
And then you got sister coming in there and doing coconuts with their heads. Conk, knock it off.
Just make me think of Roddy Piper breaking a coconut over the head to Superfly Jimmy Snuka. Where's Liesel? I miss her, asks Melissa. Liesel is not on the show right now.
I know. I miss her too.
She's hanging out somewhere.
I miss her too.
She's hanging out somewhere. She's doing her thing.
I miss her too.
I
enjoy Liesel so much.
When it comes down to it, they took her major connection off the canvas. So without Britt, they got to find a new path for Liesel. I know that she's still connected to Nina.
Too.
No Victor, no Brit, and then broke up with Scotty. Now I know she still has Nina. I still know she still has Maxie and stuff, but I don't know. I don't know, really know what's going on in those worlds. They could, of course, they could like have Nina bring in Liesel to try to help protect her from the SEC secret or whatever, but
I tell
they're
you a
not.
scene that would be so cute and funny to have Liesel in.
Yeah,
Liesel needs to visit Maxie's kids and set those little suckers straight.
just show up and just be like, cut it out.
Yeah.
Cut the S word.
Yeah. Then she might have a little more. She might be able to instill a little bit of fear in them, but Grandpa Mac don't have. Maybe she'd set those kids straight.
She could. She could just put the. Yeah, I have planted a bomb inside each of you. The next time you yell at higher than 80 decibels, it will explode. Now that's the move. That's the move. I mean, Mac is incapable. He's just incapable. Incapable. Felicia had to come in and save everything last week. And then whatever truce that they came up with, it didn't last because Georgie and little James insist on fighting with one another.
They do, don't they?
Insist on it. And I think Georgie's the problem. Because she's a raging preteen that needs her own bedroom.
Absolutely. She needs her own bedroom. Bunking with her 5-year-old little brother. Of course she wants to kill him.
Melissa says, cut the schnitzel.
Exactly. Wouldn't that be funny? That would be so funny. The schnitzel.
Krista says, I always suspected that Martin might be the true boss over Cyrus. Now, this is the conversation that I want to have. Thank you very much, Krista. Because do you remember way back yesteryear when TJ was kidnapped?
Yep.
Oh my gosh, TJ was kidnapped. He was missing for months. And when he was missing, that's when Molly went and boned Brando.
Yep.
Because meddling Jordan was like, you just maybe he needs some time. Maybe he needs some time. Because she was just hiding the fact that he was kidnapped because Cyrus had her around his little finger.
Yes, he did.
And when TJ was out there saying, oh man, they kept me blindfolded. I have no idea where it was, but I kept on hearing the clickety-clack of toe-tapping shoes.
Yes.
And a Kentucky accent.
Yes. And then the show steered away from that.
I mean, they mentioned it once, and they established a toe-tapping clickety-clack on Martin's feet at a certain point. So the connection was clear, but that they didn't move forward with that. You can call that an abandoned plot point, which it probably was at the time. But abandoned plot points, that doesn't mean you can't just pick them up again.
That's right. Sometimes abandoned plots mean rewrites later on.
Yeah. And right now, who knows what's going out there in the world? I don't really know what the structure is because we were working on having a writer from Days of Our Lives come onto the channel with us, because I'm very curious about picking the brain as to what the structure is and all that kind of stuff. And then the strike happened, all that kind of stuff. So I was just kind of like, let's wait that out before we move on with it having anybody around. Because I'm very curious as, we don't have the head writers at General Hospital right now, and we don't have the layout that they had put out there anymore. Ultimately, I know that Frank Valentini makes the final say before what they pitch to the network to ultimately decide yes or no on that. But when it comes down to it, how much are you going to change of what your head writers suggest? That's not a dynamic. That's not a work environment that's good. If Chris and Dan are constantly giving Frank things where he's like, no, we're not doing this, go back to the drawing board and do something else.
Right.
That doesn't show teamwork, that doesn't show trust, that doesn't show a good relationship for everybody else to follow. Without these guys there to make the suggestions, I can only assume that it's Frank Valentini that's like, this is the direction we're going with here, this is what I'd like you to write here, please pitch me, however he's doing it. I have to assume that he's taken the lead writer role, or is working in committee with MK Weir in some capacity, or whoever is the producers and stuff right now. And so it just seems
maybe
like
Fido as well.
Maybe Fido. Who knows? Who knows? I mean, I can ask Fido. Hey, who's making the choices right now? Let's see if he can answer me that. Fido, if you're watching, let us know right now. But anyway, so I mean, this is all assumption. I haven't done any research. I haven't talked to anybody about this yet. But if I can get you a good answer next week, I will. But with that, You know, if it is Frank who's making these decisions, or Frank and MK, or Frank and MK and Fido who are making these decisions, it seems as though the decisions that they are making might be a little more interesting. Might be a little more engaging. The types of scenes that we're having are very different as well.
Mm-hmm.
There's this element of like realism that kind of exists now that hadn't before when it comes to why these people are in the same room together. And it kind of hit me this week that in previous months, and it sucks that I'm sitting here and kind of bashing, you know, what's been going on previously in comparison to what's happening right now, because it's a weird time to be doing it. But all of that to say, it seemed as though previously people would just show up at their house to be like, we need to have a conversation. It's time for our scene. So now I'm here. Knock, knock, knock.
Mm-hmm.
And now people are showing up like, oh, well, my internet went out, so I'm hanging out in your house. Sorry to scare you with the lights off, Mom. And now we're going to have our bonding scene of talking about this, that, or the other thing.
Right.
Like, it was just more, there was more realism other than just like Christina showing up upset at Alexis's door and she needs to talk about it. You know?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm with it. I'm with it. So whoever's making the decisions right now, I think they're doing a good job. They're doing a good job.
And it's not far-fetched to let yourself into your own parents' house.
No, not if you have a key. Not if you have a key. You know, if I lived closer, who knows? Who knows? I mean, I wouldn't do that now. If I was coming, you would know. Because hey there. Well, he's drunk, isn't he? Don't tell Dad.
Randomness sometimes, you guys. It's okay.
You know, it's the house I grew up in, and it was a lot of fun.
Yes, it is.
GH has been better with the scabs. You know, again, the different words that are coming out of the mouths is the scabs, but the decisions as to what's happening, the big plot points, who is Pikeman, and his house burns down. That's not the scab writer saying, oh, well, this in my episode that I'm writing for you, I'm going to burn down Anna's house. That's not how that works. No. You know, somebody says, hey, write a sequence in which Anna's house is burned down because this, that, and that. Give me those words. That's how that works. And they didn't hire a scab head writer to say, well, these are the directions the show's going in. They're not going to just take somebody off of the street to do that. It is the producers who have been a part of GH who are making the story decisions right now. You know. Anyway, WGA update, everybody. Strike happened. It's still happening, but they had a meeting on Friday that went well. Last Friday,
really?
2 Fridays ago, they had a meeting that went bad. Last Friday, they had a meeting that went well enough for the WGA to take the proposal that they got from the producers back to their team to talk about it. So if they like it enough, now here's the thing: they're going to bring it back and say, well, this, that, but not this, and change that, did this, you know. But this is negotiation. So
yeah, that's a lot better news than what we got 2 weeks ago.
You know, and now unless this deal that they presented, or these acquiescences that the producers are pitching to the writers right now, if they're enough, then, you know, Monday they could be like, cool, we're not striking anymore. I doubt it. I'm sure it's still going to be a few more weeks as they go back and forth, because that's how negotiations work.
I saw something this week that was really interesting, actually. I don't remember this gentleman's name, but he's an actor and he's recognizable. And he's been on, like he said, he has done 4 or 5 different series for the Mouse lately.
It's, you know, Disney.
Yeah, he has done that. He's had 5 or 6 underneath his belt in the past years. He says now. He said, you can, and he rhymed it, and he was trying to stay away from the names, but letting us know what he was talking about. And he was on Waverly Place, you know? Yeah. With he was on that, and he was on some others too. And he said that he actually said, he says, I was making about $2,500 a week. And he says, so it's
middle class.
Not a lot of money.
No.
You know, not he's by no means becoming rich in the valley making that kind of money.
Oh, certainly not. He's just getting by.
Yeah, because LA is so expensive.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So, but he was saying, and he says, you know what the problem is He says, I agreed to do the show, okay, for that wage. However, he says, you can watch me on the Mouse channel for hours
And
on
I'll see
different
nothing
things,
from it.
and I will get nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you could watch me for hours.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. That is the whole thing. That is the basis of it all. So,
and the AI crap too.
Yeah, AI crap too. But that's more of a preventing a disastrous next problem than fixing the current one. So, anyway, Chris and Dan says,
that doesn't sound fair, though, does it?
No, it's certainly not fair. It's certainly not fair. When it comes down to it, they can give away a little bit more of this money, and it's totally true. And we're gonna get there. Sorry, Kat, who are you talking about? Asks Amelia. Do you remember who it is you were talking about? That said all this stuff from the Disney Channel.
Is a dude?
Just some dude. We don't know. This is 10th floor. Don't come to us.
I don't know his name, you guys. I can describe him. He's
Caucasian.
Caucasian.
That narrows
He's
it down.
got a little bit of funky teeth. He's not very attractive, really.
Oh, he's probably that one kid with the funky teeth that wasn't particularly attractive, but was very funny.
And he's an older guy too. He's not a baby.
Well, not anymore.
But yeah,
those shows were 20 years ago.
I don't remember his name, you
10
guys.
years ago,
I'm
15
sorry.
years ago. Anyway, in any case, all that kind of stuff. Chris and Dan said that what they write gets changed once it leaves their hands, so they don't always know what will air. I mean, to a degree. I mean, they'll know what's going to air because they came up with it.
He kind of reminded me of Steve Buscemi, but it wasn't him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Beans, maybe. I don't know. We're not going to be able to tell you the exact name of the person we were just prattling on about. That's not even on General Hospital.
No, but that's our style, y'all.
That's our style. So when it comes to Chris and Dan, they don't know what's going to air. I mean, when it comes to word for word, no. But whatever. Anyway, what else happened? Stuff happened. On one side of the meat hook, sign away the born. That's what Sonny would do. Oh gosh. I don't know what we're talking about anymore. Everything stopped with Frank. Fido has nothing to do with strips. We know, Amelia. We were thinking. We were dreaming. We were hoping. Wouldn't it be great? I like the new mixes. Eddie hitting on Carly made me laugh so hard. So cringe, so good.
I loved all of those scenes. I loved all those bar scenes. I loved it. And you know what's funny too? Right before, like when Carly about to conk Mason over the head, someone at the bar like slid the bottle down to her.
Yeah, she was just like, "Yeah, give me one." I don't know what. So did Carly used to like bar hop in her youth? Is this where she's like the life she's from 30 years ago?
In the pool hall.
That's true. She did meet Jason in the pool. So, because I'm wondering, like the smoothness of like the, putting the hand down, and getting the bottle and going up, bashing it overhead. It's like she knew what signal to give to the bartender to say, "Hey, I need a weapon to go stop this right now."
I think she just tapped into her Spencer-ness. I loved it. I loved it, and I thought Olivia was hilarious.
Yeah. Yes.
It was just all good, and Ned was funny too.
They were all great.
Just all good.
They were all. It was a good sequence. It was imaginative, and this is a comment that I made a couple of weeks ago when it came to like chasing Brooklyn and throwing the peanuts in the mouth, and we're gonna go skinny dipping. Like it's just it's a clever way of just having scenes with these people.
Yes.
Just going about different ways of things. It's not so static. It's not just kind of two people sitting around a table talking. Now we've got really fun hatchet throwing sequences with laughter and hugs and then, sadness and drama at the end. All kinds of cool stuff. Carly used to bar brawl all the time at Jake's, says Melissa.
Well, she said when she walked in, it reminds me of Jake's.
Well, there we go. It was very easy to tap right back into that then.
It was fun. I loved all of it. And I love the when they had to go to PCPD too. I love that too.
Yeah, get you out of here too. I'm just gonna call my rich daughter.
Yep. Is she not answering the phone though?
Well, she's busy with Dex, I'm sure.
Well, like I said, Trina moved home. All that, right?
Just getting it on. Marvin Gaye on loop.
But I liked all that stuff. That was very fun to watch.
Wild
It
Green.
added to all the drama, and it was funny, and it left Nina in the bed wondering where his man was. And I love that too.
Did he leave to go save Carly? Oh my god! And then just I'm calling Dante, calling Sonny,
Calling
calling
Ava was so
Jocelyn.
funny when she says, "And what did you expect? You about to marry a mobster?"
This is the first time Sonny's just mysteriously vanished in the night, because I'm surprised it's taken this long.
Right?
You know he impregnated me on top of a dead person's crypt, right? You understand the caliber of man you're about to marry. I hope you. Oh yeah, he's wonderful. Nixon Falls. Okay, but Sonny lived a long time before Nixon Falls. A long time.
When we saw Sonny put Dex on the meat hook, we knew the old Sonny was back.
Yeah.
100%. Smikey is dead.
Yes. Oh yeah, absolutely. Daisy says Peter DeLuise, and that might be the actor that you were talking about for from the Disney Channel. He played the dad on Wizards of Waverly Place.
Well, it probably is.
He's Dom DeLuise's son or something.
Oh, no.
Nope.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Moving on.
What's this dude's name? What'd she say?
Peter DeLuise.
Peter DeLuise. No, I don't think so. I think I know who you're talking about.
It's not General Hospital. It's owned by the same company, though. Nina got so crazed with him not being next to her, says Jeannie.
She did, didn't she? Yeah. She got all like,
where'd he go?
Yeah. The fact that she's surprised like that is kind of silly. Almost as silly as Anna going running out in the dark by herself.
She'll get over it. I don't know. Or, there's a lot of time before Valentine's Day to reconsider things. I don't know. We went from a fall wedding to a...
No, I don't believe that. I don't believe that Nina knew that that Carly was at the police station.
Oh no, she had no idea what was going on.
So wait till she finds out that.
Oh, okay. That's fine. That's okay.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's okay. It's okay, Sonny. It's okay. It's okay. And then she's gonna go to Ava and be like, what? Oh, Carly always sticking her nose in my business yet again. Yet again, here she now calling Sonny out of bed. She can't just leave Sonny alone anymore. They are divorced, Ava. What you doing calling Sonny? She didn't call Sonny.
She didn't call Sonny, and when she finds out that, well, maybe she won't find out as well, that he tried real hard to sign her out too, and she wasn't going for it. No, thank you.
Daisy says that the actor is making more than she does at her regular job. That doesn't make it any less challenging for the actor, though. It really doesn't. That doesn't. I get it. He's making more money than I'm doing. Definitely more than my mama right now because she's retired. But that doesn't take away any sort of right that they have to get a bigger piece of the pie in the business that they're in. Same thing for us too.
What is the average cost of a 1-bedroom apartment in that area?
I'm super lucky. I don't even know what it is.
It's probably about $2,500 to $3,000 a month.
I mean, a 2-bedroom for sure. 1-bedroom might be 21. I don't even know. It's too much.
It's expensive.
It's super expensive. So, anyway. And yeah, Daisy, Amelia says, Daisy, fix that. And yeah, Daisy, if there's a bigger piece of pie for you to get at your job, you should probably push for that. Okay. Here you go, Mom. What do you think about the bed sizes on General Hospital? That's a question that's come up. These bedroom sets. These bedroom sets. These beds for all of these rich people are far too small. Why is everybody got a queen?
They are. However, if you have a king-size bed with 2 people snuggled in the middle, it's going to look odd as all get out.
It takes them
right?
20 minutes to just climb to the middle of the bed to shoot the scene.
There would be like, several feet on either side of a bodies. Yeah. So I think, yeah. Is it unrealistic for what they would probably really have?
Yeah.
But for what they're
In the
doing?
real world, they would have something bigger, but this is so bland. And really, there was another person in the chat that said the sets aren't very big, and that's very true as well. You can't really put a king size bed on one of those sets. Plus, because the sets are this big, but on TV they look this big, that if you were to put a king size bed on TV, it would probably look this big.
It would.
So, like
It
what a
would look
ginormous
like
bed.
like a bed in a hippie's house where everybody sleeps together.
Amelia says that the sets are too small. From my perspective, from my observations of just walking down that soundstage a couple of times, because I'm super cool, like the coolest person you've ever known, ever seen on YouTube is me. I'm cool because I've been to the soundstage twice. It's all for efficiency. The more sets that they can have up at one time, the easier it is for them to shoot all of the stuff that they need to shoot in the various locations and not have everything be at Charlie's.
Yeah. And and the biggest set, of course, is the hospital station,
which is always there.
Which is always there.
Which is why they do so much on it.
But even though it wasn't really massive, though, Kelly's set wasn't that small.
No. It's just like half of a room. If it was a full room, it would feel like the size of a small town diner.
If you're actually on the stage, if you're on the sound stage like we were able to do, that the table in Kelly's, the tables in Kelly's, even though on television it looks much further away, but the tables on Kelly's, that jukebox is right there. Yeah. Right there.
Yeah, you could reach out and be like tap, tap, tap.
Yeah. But on television, it doesn't look like it's right there. So they wanted to show us what they're showing us. To show us what they're showing us, they don't need bigger sets.
Great TV magic, you guys. Great TV magic. The depth, amazing. The lights, so many lights. Oh my God, there's so many lights.
Yeah.
So how people were worried that Carly was going to be changing Kelly's in a major way, right? And then Frank Valentini leaning into that and being like, hey, you guys, took a picture of a new rug mat, a welcome mat for Kelly's. Which was simply just a new welcome mat. Same logo, same colors, all that kind of stuff. But clearly they had bought a new one. And on the Twitter, he was like, change is coming to Kelly's. But it was the same logo and the same color and the same font and all of that. Major change. And then I was thinking on the tour, how MK Weir was talking about the prices on the menu that's on the wall. She's like, BLT. Oh wow, when BLT $4.95. When was that? When was this updated? Oh gosh, before I started. Well, maybe we need to put a note down. We need to start. We need to fix this. What do you think? And then made it a part of the tour saying maybe it's time to update a little some of these things.
Yes.
It's getting a spit shine, you guys.
Yes.
It's gonna get a polish. It might get a painting, a planter, something. But Kelly's is staying the same.
Yes. And now if she did like the way I would write it, is that she would change it drastically.
Yeah, we talked about it.
Yeah, and then go full circle.
And then have to go back.
It didn't work. And it doesn't honor us.
Yeah, and then Carly can have that speech about, well, you can't change Kelly's, you can't change the heart of Port Charles, blah 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 blah.
And then happiness, back to the
all
way
that kind of stuff. I don't think that's going to happen. I think that you're just going to kind of shine it up, repaint it a little bit, freshen it up, liven it up, make it look
what would be funny
newer.
You know what would be funny too is if somebody was in Kelly's and they needed some crayons, and Carly's taking them out.
I don't have jumbo crayons for you anymore. Sorry.
No jumbo crayons.
Yeah, people wouldn't be able to pop in for their desserts and coffee anymore.
And then we have Maxie's kids in there fussing and fighting.
Just breaking things. No. We're getting upstairs apartments back at Kelly's. Carly said it. Good. Esme can move into one of them. Why not?
I like it.
Why not? But yeah, Kelly's ultimately is going to stay the same. And now so all of this stuff, Kelly's, and then they burn down the Chandler mansion. Okay. Okay.
He
And
sure did.
this is what I think. This is what I think. I think that they had planned on burning down the Chandler mansion, but they let all of this Kelly stuff slip and go, so people would be distracted talking about that set in case information came out. Oh, we're destroying a long-term set. We are retiring a set that has been on daytime for decades. And the people are going to go,
Mm-hmm.
Kelly's, no, 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 no. But not realizing the entire time they were talking about Anna's house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Maybe, Matt.
I figured it out. I'm super
Maybe.
smart. I'm the smartest person you guys have ever met. I'm the most handsome person that you know. I'm the most talented YouTuber that you have ever watched. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Oh shoot, what else happened this week? I don't know, because like I said at the top of the thing, like so much happened and nothing happened also at the same time, you know?
Mhm.
um yeah, Maxie's moving into Dante's old house, so that's cool, you know,
Yes,
right?
and I like the scenes with Sam and Dante when she brings it up to him and they're, in their little twin size bed. and and I love that. I love that. And he agrees to it and stuff. And that's that just shows us that, uh little Lulu's gonna be blinking her eyes open soon, maybe wiggle her finger for
Huh?
a couple of days.
Oh, I'm awake. Where am I gonna live?
She's definitely gonna wake up, you guys.
Maxie, you're
Come
in
on.
my
She's like they're
house.
they're conking us over the head with the Lulu's gonna wake us up. Gonna wake up. Gonna
Maxie,
wake
why are you in my house? Dante lives with Sam. What the bleep? She just wakes up evil.
up. It's funny. I love it. Love it. I
Sante's
love it.
cute. Maxie gets on my nerves.
Mhm.
Jeannie wants Anna and Valentine to move into Windermere together. I don't know where Ava will go, but she wants them to move into Windermere together.
Mm.
It's all right. Ava could just go move in with Nina or something. Or Nina can move in with Sonny because they're going to get married. And then Ava can live in Nina's apartment. And then Anna and Valentine can live in Windermere. And Spencer
Mm.
can go to Hawaii. I mean, not right now, unless he's going to go do some like disaster relief. But
Mm-hmm.
well, that's what he can do. That's how he can get off the show for a little while, and then he'll come back after an accident with a new face.
Could happen. You
Yeah,
never know.
I need plastic surgery, Trina. Oh well, I don't like this face. This face is ugly in my eyes. I don't like you anymore because you're ugly to me. And then Sprina fans are going to melt like the Wicked Witch of the West.
That's true. That way.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Amelia thinks we need Nicholas back. We're getting there. We're just waiting on Laura, Jeannie Francis, to finish her summer vacation and come on back to the set full time. That's
Is
my
she
theory,
gonna
at least.
find her kiddo? She's gonna find her kiddo. And
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
Matt, how we were talking about last week, how like like Valentine is like completely, a different person.
Yeah.
We may be wrong about that.
Well, I guess it all depends on how this whole thing shakes out. If he's secretly been Pikeman this whole time, if he's secretly involved and more so in Pikeman and has lied successfully to Anna once again. There was an interesting line that he said to Spencer because he's like, "Now it's time to change our family."
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean,
Yeah, he did.
Valentine? And then he's also like, because Spencer was like, "Oh man, I should have thought better of you when I was younger." And he's like, "No, you had the right impression." What does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean?
I don't know. It could be the end of Anna and Valentine, though. It could be the beginning of the end because she's has mistrust again. She's questioning.
Maybe they just need to constantly get over it and just always find their way to trusting each other once again. I don't want it to be over already. I want years. Anna and Valentine.
I like Anna and Valentine, but Valentine can't be too good. Can he? He is a cat.
Maybe.
He can't be too good.
Maybe. Oh, Melissa's just figured out a super twist. Georgie, the gifted daughter of the Jackal, she runs Pikeman. Podcast over. Thanks for joining us, everybody.
I think we're going to find out who Pikeman as soon as with the way they've written it. It's just there's so many possibilities.
But yeah,
It
it
could
must
be Valentine.
Could be Valentina,
It
it
could
could
be
be
Austin.
Mason, it could be Austin, it could be Olivia Jerome. That was everybody's original theory. I think we've moved past it being Olivia Jerome, though. But then again, I don't know. I don't know. But there's been a lot of buildup. Maybe it's Jackson Montgomery because Walt Willie was like, "Hey, guys, I get to come back. Thank you for loving this so much that they asked me to come back."
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know when that's happening.
But it kind of does make sense in a way, even though you're right, though they've kind of gone away from it. Kind of does make sense in a way that it would be Olivia Jerome because she would go get Delia and go lock her up.
Mm-hmm.
That's her baby sister's mom.
Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. Could be Alex who's in charge of it all. Nothing like a dead
Could
woman.
be Alex.
Nothing like a dead woman to run it all. Nobody would ever suspect it. I don't know.
Could
I
be.
don't know. I don't know. Because we did the same thing. We're going, well, the hook could be. The hook could be. Ooh, this says this. Ooh, well, maybe the hook is this. Ooh, the evidence this week suggests that maybe the hook is this. And then ultimately it was Heather Weber. So, who knows?
I think when they first started writing the story of that, when they started writing that arc, it wasn't.
Oh, no. I honestly, truly, in my heart of heart, really, really, truly, fully, 100% believe that it was originally Rory.
You think so?
I really, truly, wholeheartedly do. I know a lot of people say, "Oh, the prosecutor, the ADA, the prosecutor, the ADA." Good second choice, only if she was being on orders from somebody else. But if it was truly just an independent serial killer, Rory. I think that would have been the best dramatic move. He was doing it to, clear Trina's enemies because he loves his large family so much. And he's nuts. Anyway, that's what I would have done. That's where I would have been. But then the fans were just like, "Who is Bori?"
Oh man. Yeah, nobody no, the fans gave him a little bit of a chance, but boy, they turned on him real quick.
Yeah, because at first they were like, "Oh, who's this person?" And I'm like, and nobody thought Trina because she was warming up with Spencer at the time. And I'm like, "Oh, well, here's a rival for Cameron. He looks young enough to be a part of that crew. Some college student, some new cast member that's a PCU or something." Nope.
Yeah.
And no. Amelie says it usually is someone off canvas, so maybe it'll be a return of somebody, Mom.
Perhaps I think it will be a return of somebody. I do.
I don't know. Carolyn says that Kelly's is definitely getting a makeover. It seems as though people in the chat might be in different portions of the podcast right now. That's interesting. Kelly's is definitely getting a makeover. We talked about it already. It ain't. At least that's more theory. That's more theory, at least.
I think it's going to get some changes, and they'll be minimal.
Yeah. They're not moving the front door or anything.
No, and it would be hilarious too if she changed the menu completely and made it like less of a diner and more of a steakhouse.
You just really want Kelly's to be different. You want Carly to ruin Kelly's is what you want.
No, I don't. I want her to have a full circle moment.
You want her to ruin it so she can come back and put it back together.
Yeah. And I just think a lot of it would be comedy.
Well, it would be. It would be. The meltdown, though. The meltdown from the people over it. And then they'll feel accomplished when it gets all put back. Oh, look what we made the show do. The power of our watch. It's just a plan the whole time, people. Relax. So Portia is a meddling mommy.
Portia is making big mistakes with her daughter.
Portia is about to have a huge blowout with her daughter and, really damage that relationship in fun, dramatic, soapy ways.
Yes, she is. Because I understand Portia believes that she's protecting her daughter, and Spencer has got nothing for this girl in the long run other than heartache, deception, and pain.
Yes, which is why you need to leave my house.
Portia believes. And I don't blame her for feeling that way. He is a Spencer. I mean, he is a Cassadine. He is a Cassadine, and he's done shady things before. But she's going to push her daughter right into his arms.
You don't need to say goodbye in person. I can just tell her that you left. I appreciate Spencer being like, I mean, I guess okay.
I
This
think
is
he was
weird,
just
lady.
I think he was just trying to respect her when she didn't deserve it.
Totally, totally. Like I said, I appreciate it. He's just like, hi, yi, yi,
Uh-huh.
yi, yi.
Uh-huh.
I see what you're doing here, Portia. I'll leave.
But I think it, and Spencer, Spencer has to do is tell Trina when Uncle she said, well, I'm surprised you didn't stay. I thought, I thought I'm surprised when I came downstairs and you had left already. And then have him tell her the truth.
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah, yeah. Your mom said I should
Mom
go.
pretty much kicked me out.
Your mom was like, I need alone time with my daughter. You don't need to say goodbye. Just get out of here. That's what she said.
Uh-huh.
And so I
Basically.
left because I was afraid of her. So
Yeah.
not gonna. Yeah.
And
yeah.
then Grandpa's gonna see that she's making mistakes as well. You're pushing her right into his arms.
Listen, Portia. You listen to me because I'm a father figure. My name is Marshall. I'm wise. Let me play
Yes.
this song on my clarinet while I tell you a story.
Mm-hmm.
Portia's reacting to her situation by her situation being out of control by trying to exert control where she can.
Yep.
That is Trina's life, I guess.
I agree.
Or at least who's in her house.
I agree. Okay, but she's just going about it the wrong way. You can't go about you can be non-supportive of that relationship without trying to sabotage it. And that's what she's doing.
Totally and completely. 100%, 100,000%, 150,000%, 150,001%, Mom. You're totally right.
There you go.
You're totally right. But yeah, she's headed to disaster. She's gonna push Curtis in the way that's gonna hurt that. She's gonna lose Trina's trust, and it's just gonna be an awful year coming up for Portia. I hope you're ready for tortured Portia, because once Sasha's over it, here comes Portia right behind her.
Boy, ain't that the truth.
Frank is the best at saving money. He sure is. That's why he's never going to get replaced, you guys. Frank Valentini is always going to leave under his own accord. Or because there's some sort of scandal or he's inappropriate with people. One of those two things.
No, I think that other show's got a corner on that crap.
I think they do. So yeah, Portia meddling. Jex needs to have some scenes that isn't boning. I know they do sometimes, but more of them. Get them in a caper. Get them in a little thing,
Yeah.
Jocelyn finds out who Pikeman is. I don't know, something. Jocelyn is kidnapped by Pikeman. Just have something happen to Jocelyn,
Yeah. Something.
Yeah,
something
or something happens,
just...
or the other way. Something happens to Dex, and Jocelyn has to go figure it out. Do it. What's stopping you? Stopping you. The time you're just waiting for the strike to be over. Isn't that why you moved the wedding from fall to Valentine's Day? Was to give a little more time for the strike to be over, so your rewriters can come back to handle the SEC drama.
I'm curious with the writer's strike. How many of writers joined FICOR? Is that what they call it?
I don't know of any new people that joined it this year.
But those are just basically writers that crossed the line. Go back to work.
Essentially,
how many of them did that? Or how many of their staff do they have?
There's a list of names because WGA is like, these guys. So WGA has published the names of their FICOR writers and keep that up to date. Whenever somebody goes FICOR, they add their name to the list, so it's very easy to find who they are. I don't recognize any of the names from soaps because I don't know who they are. I recognize names from very famous people like Francis Ford Coppola and Tyler Perry, who are FICOR when it comes to the WGA.
Okay. I was just wondering.
I don't know. Crap. And as it stands right now, there are no writers being credited, which is different this time than it was last time. Last time they were on strike, the FICOR writers were credited for what was going on. So since there's no credit happening for who's writing these episodes, there really is no way other than going there and finding out who's really doing what. There could even be, I don't know if this is the case. It probably isn't because it would be incredibly stupid. But there could be a writer or two that is striking but writing. just without a
Well,
credit. Who knows? I don't.
yeah,
I
I don't
don't.
either.
I don't. That's
Don't
just me
either.
talking out of
But I
my
can't
head.
say that. But I can't say that what we're seeing is has a huge negative impact that we don't have our original writers because what we're viewing doesn't suck.
No, no.
Doesn't.
And it's just a tough observation to make because what we're watching doesn't suck. It actually hasn't. Like the show is good right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's not as punchy as Days. You know, it's not as quick as Days. We haven't moved major plots along as quick as other soaps do. But the content that we're getting week over week has been more entertaining.
And if they and you know it's is they if they stay out for a long time yet, well then we are going to see plot lines really. We're really are going to see arcs happen.
Yeah.
They're going to have to.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Some stuff's gonna have to come to an end. Other stuff is gonna have to keep going.
Yep.
Disney is discussing selling ABC, FX, and National Geographic. I don't see the point of Disney doing that unless they feel as though they're going to have to soon because of some sort of a monopoly thing since they own so much. Like the
Yeah,
government
boy,
might
if
be
they
like,
were
listen,
if
Disney,
this
you
was
got to
the 80s, they'd
divest.
be shutting those folks down.
Yeah, I mean, it's Disney is getting very, very close to. Okay, I'm just gonna throw these notes out. Clearly, we're done talking about GH. Uh, um, but Disney, you know, are clearly over the last several years have been just picking up all kinds of different things, all studios and Fox and Marvel and Star Wars and just pretty much anything that's worth anything out there in the movie landscape is made by Disney. If it's gonna make money, Disney made it, or it's a superhero thing that Sony did. But all of that stuff is kind of bad. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's just not very good.
Studio made Barbie.
Uh, I don't know.
That one's making a ton of money right now.
Yeah, that and Oppenheimer. Let me quickly find out who did Barbie. Barbie movie. Let's see. Barbie movie. Oh geez. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I was expecting quicker answers.
We
Warner
do have
Brothers.
to
Warner
watch
Brothers. Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers.
Warner Brothers. Okay, we need to talk about one more thing though. The story.
Oh yeah.
No, I love Trina and Finn. I love Finn making Curtis see Trina. I loved it. And it seemed like Trina kind of got through to him a little bit, you know?
Yeah, a little bit. Little
Yeah,
repair
a little
there.
bit. She kind of got through to him a little bit and reminded him when you woke up, you came out of your when you woke up and you were able, you what is the first thing you said?
Straight.
Said, what do I need? I need to see my daughter.
I
That's
need to
what you
see my
said.
daughter. Yes.
I need to see my daughter. That's what you said. And she reminded him of that. And that's where his heart really lays because he didn't know that he, had lost his ability to feel his legs at that point.
Yeah.
He just knew he needed to see his daughter.
Mm-hmm.
So she reminded him of that. And
Yeah.
I thought it was really good. And I thought it softened him a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe he'll go to the rehab now and try.
Yeah. 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 Mark, who are you? You work for WB? How so? You security guard? That'd be fun. If you're a security guard, you can sneak me in, okay? That's why I want to know. I wasn't trying to be insulting, but if you're security, you can get me in the gate. Amelia says that Disney just doesn't want to deal with cable. ABC's not on cable. Amelia says that Disney doesn't want to deal with cable. ABC's not cable, though, so I don't know. They've had ABC for so long, I just don't see them letting it go. They've had ABC since the 90s.
Who knows what's happening, though?
I don't. All I know is that you're totally right about Trina and Curtis, though. She totally got into him a little bit, and she's going to be his light, his lightning rod, is whatever it is that's going to be that keeps him on the path to recovery.
Yes, she's going to be his beacon of
hope.
Hope. Yes.
Hope and recovery.
Yes.
And then gosh,
and then right after they connect in the most spiritual father-daughter relationship they can possibly have, she'll find out that he ain't her daddy after all.
Oh no, Taggart, and she's just gonna find him like a bum on the street now who was just not put down the bottle.
I know. Actually, I'm looking forward to. I hope that they make give Taggart a story with that. We see a lot more of him. I want to, I want to see that. I like Taggart. I think Rael's just a good actor.
He is. I hope that we get more of it too. We talked a little bit, Melissa, about Cyrus giving away his money. There's just not much there to talk about, other than maybe Martin's not so good. We did discuss it. Go back.
Yes, we're thinking maybe. And so far, the whole Cyrus being a good guy, I'm kind of believing it still, but you just never know.
Amelia's happy to see Mr. Ponytail, and she backs up what she was saying about ABC, saying that she read it in 2 different sources. So hey, we'll give it that. Amelia's got sources. I've just got opinion.
Yeah, maybe it's true.
So maybe it is true. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know how people make money in Hollywood.
That scares me though, because I'm afraid like if Disney gets sold to somebody else, what if they pull the plug on GH?
Well, if they sell to somebody else, might have more appreciation for the soap.
You never know.
I don't know. Who knows? Because like Days of Our Lives was renewed for 2 years. 2 years. 2 whole years. 2. The power of streaming platform. And we've said it here many times on the 10th floor. Streaming is the way for soaps to go. With how people watch shows on streaming when it comes to binging and watching the same thing for a long period of time before moving on to the next thing and then watching that for a couple of weeks and moving on next couple of weeks. To have something new every day to go into for these binge people to watch for an hour, to come home, settle into their day, their evening or whatever, put on Days of Our Lives, transition from the real world into their home world, or whatever it is, to have something to put on that's new 5 days a week is insanely valuable to streaming service. In my opinion. Cyrus must have hit his head. No, Cyrus has seen the light. Brother, I've seen the light. Cyrus, put down the Bible for a moment and just look at your little brother and tell me the truth.
Yes.
Don't you scheme me up, brother. No scheme, Marty.
I love that.
They're always so good together. When are they not good together? Tell me a time they weren't good together, and I will give you $1. You can't. I'm going to keep my buck.
Yeah, I loved it. I hope we see lots more of Cyrus. I want to see lots more of Cyrus. I want him to get out of jail.
Yes, he's gonna get released because the warden hates him. That's my feeling. Is the warden has targeted him, so they're gonna be like, we're gonna let you out of here, Pastor. Brother Cy. All right, last thing, Ma. Last thing. You ready for the last thing? You ready for the last thing?
Yeah.
Mrs. Swickard.
Yes, Mrs. Swickard is she is a BLQ fan.
Yeah, BLQ. Yeah, she was a Chase and who was that? Blaze. Chase and Blaze fan.
Big Chase. Oh, Chase and Blaze loves them. Can't wait to hear their music.
Oh yeah. So Brooklyn and Cody sneaking in. Thank you very much, Melissa, for the reminder. Cody and Brooklyn sneaking in, trying to get Cody in to see crazy Sasha.
Yep.
Tortured Sasha. Manipulated Sasha. Victimized Sasha. Let's not call her crazy Sasha. It's not like crazy Annie, okay?
No.
It's not like crazy Heather.
No.
This is done to her.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait for that stinking doctor to get it. That doctor's evil.
He sure is. No, he's gonna get his neck broken or something.
I think so.
I just see him in somewhere just in a crumpled heap. Well,
actually, I want to see the same things happen to Mason too. I want to see him in a crumpled heap. That's what
I feel as though Sonny is more likely to take out the doctor than he is to take out Gladys.
Yeah.
I think, and I think that's something that Maurice Bernard would support more, because Maurice Bernard he's got his finger on the scripts a little bit more than other actors do. Not in any sort of like official way in his contract saying that you have the right to refuse to do something, but when it comes to it, his opinion as to what Sonny's up to matters. And so I would think that Maurice Bernard's opinion, just when it comes to the type of character that he seems to want Sonny to be, would be, I will take out the doctor, but I'm not going to kill Gladys. That's my family.
Yeah. It makes sense, because Sonny's family is so important to him, and it doesn't matter if you suck, but he's not going to kill you because you're still family.
Right. But
the
doctor, on the other hand,
needs to go, and they cannot leave the character of Sasha this messed up
They're
for
not.
very long. They can't.
No, this is gonna go on maybe throughout August.
Yeah.
But Cody's already in there, already broken in, already visited her. Brooklyn's a yada yada. You know, we haven't had any time of Sophia Matson not being there. So all you people who were like, maternity leave. Ha 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 ha. I was right.
Yeah, she's not didn't really take one.
No, this is just the Ferncliff portion of her storyline, because she's
Yep.
on pretty much just as much as she ever has been, if not more.
Mhm.
And just good Emmy-winning stuff. Oh my God, Sophia Matson, you are going to stack Emmys. You really, really are. You are.
She's really good.
And the glory days of this, when it's all over, is going to be great for the character as well. And let's not forget, okay, we understand a lot of things are happening to Sasha right now. It is Torture Sasha year on General Hospital.
It
But let's
is.
not forget about the year of hell that Carly went through.
Mhm.
Michael getting in a coma, Jason going to jail, Franco victimizing people, her getting locked into safe rooms by the algorithm.
Yeah.
Like, there really was a year or two of Carly's life which was just disaster, disaster after disaster after disaster. She even just said, "I'm out of here right
Oh,
now."
she
Carly
just
just
dropped
went.
off the wall, huh?
Carly just said, "No, I'm gone," because you're talking about all these horrible things that happened to me. There, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. It's true. So, I think Nurse Janice and
Yeah.
Nurse Maddie are the good cop, bad cop of Ferncliff. Now, yeah. So Mrs. Swickard played a royal B word. My God, was she
Oh,
unpleasant?
she's awful.
She was super unpleasant to Cody.
She was super unpleasant to
Oh my
Cody.
God, it was good though.
And she was very unpleasant to Brooklyn until she realized who she was.
She's just super unpleasant lady. I'm with it though. That was a good character trait, and not what you'd expect. You know, if you have somebody's spouse being on the show, you kind of expect them to be nicer, like Cameron Matheson's wife on being the business
Yes.
person or whatever.
Yes.
Just a brilliant. You know, I use her all the time. Just a master in the
Yes.
field.
Yes. I like Mrs. Swickard's character better too.
Yeah. No, does she need to be full-time permanent cast member? I don't know. That's not up to me. But it was fun to see her for that time.
Might be kind of testing her out there.
Maybe.
Maybe I don't know. I don't know.
But I like, but they took care of it. They got Cody in there, but of course Cody gets in there just after Sasha finishes a hallucination of Cody being in there, and so she doesn't know what's real. She doesn't know what's real, but she knows that something has happened to her. She
sure
knows
does.
that this isn't me. This isn't
And
right.
every time she starts to get her wits about her and starts to figure something out, that damn doctor comes in and shoots her up again.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. But she's not quite. But she just continues to know, and I'm just looking forward to to just it working out for those crazy kids.
Yes. And the character of Cody's been so much better lately too.
Oh, so much more good.
More good.
Oh gosh, my ability to speak is leaving me. Uh, everyone goes to Ferncliff at least once on the show. There you go, Melissa. Everybody gets to go. Everybody's got a pass. It gets to go.
Yep.
Cody is something else. Cody's good though. I do like this Cody more, and I don't know. Eventually, he's gonna have to stand up to Miss Wu, right, and be like,
You would think
because
so.
once he finds out that Gladys is involved in the drugging of Sasha, because he's convinced himself already that she's getting shot up with something. It's like, I don't have any evidence, but I know it in my heart. And once he finds out that Gladys is involved, though, then maybe he's going to have to tell Miss Wu, and then maybe Chat's right. Miss Wu is going to get involved and take care of this doctor. Here's the thing about Selena Wu, because she will do the right thing if it means she gets to do the wrong thing later.
That's absolutely right. That's absolutely right.
I'm not gonna stand for this.
And she also does a little girl power thing a little bit.
A little bit. I can just kind of see her being, oh, I don't condone this behavior, doctor.
Mm-hmm.
But now, Sasha, since I saved you from the situation, maybe there's something you could do for me. Yeah, I'm totally for that. Actually, I'm excited for Maxie to find out that Cody is her brother. Okay.
Well, eventually, yes, eventually Cody's gonna tell the truth.
Yeah. I mean, brother in the sense I was raised by Mac, not necessarily brother in parentage.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Well, they would be stepbrother, stepsister. That's what they'd be.
exactly. It's exactly what they would be. So we'll see what happens with that. Next. Melissa is convinced that Martin has robbed Cyrus blind, so I'm here for it. How could you do this to me, brother? I trusted you to save these prisoners. Instead, you took the money yourself. That's not godly. Oh, come on, Cyrus. You would have done the same thing. Whatever it is that you had planned, I prevented it from happening, is what I did.
Mm-hmm.
Wherever this money was really going, whatever it is you were truly planning, I prevented it. You made it so people couldn't get out of jail. It was for rehabilitation. I don't trust you, Cyrus. I've never trusted you ever since you ran over Daddy.
Yep.
Mama doesn't even think of you. I know.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be so good.
But he did tell him that the mama asked about you every time I talked to her.
Yeah.
Right?
He did.
But I didn't, and I didn't like the fact that he at one point, and he didn't refer to him when they first started talking about her. He didn't refer to her as mama. He said mother. What?
Well, maybe when he's
No.
talking to Cyrus, it's more serious. Mother. But when he's talking to Lucy, it's my mama. My mama. Hummingbird Cake LLC has all of the money. That's Melissa.
There you go, right?
There we go. Just Hummingbird Cake. You know, I sold Mama's recipe to Little Debbie. It's just gonna, it's gonna be out there now. Just individually packed. You can find them at 7-Eleven.
Yeah, it's gonna have that. It's gonna still taste like hummingbird cake, but a
Lifetime
little bit
supply
like a
of hummingbird
Twinkie as
cake
well.
ingredients. Oh my god. Ugh, the hummingbird cake recipe was what sent Jackson away. Sent Jackson. Oh, something's wrong here. This is Maquillage's recipe. I know it. I've had it. Oh gosh. But in conclusion, Finn and Elizabeth were on a roof together, and they're happy. They're yeah. Oh, you know what? They had a conversation at the steakhouse, in which they went over it all. Okay.
Mhm.
What are your red flags? This, that, the other thing. You know what they didn't say?
What's
At
that?
all? At
What's
all.
that?
You know what they didn't say about red flags about this relate? They said, I dated your sister. They said, this is complicated because of Violet. They said this, that, other thing. They said, I'm a doctor. Da-da-da-da. But they didn't say, I accidentally killed your ex-wife.
No.
Because that didn't happen. I think we talked about it last week. That didn't happen.
Yes.
That didn't happen. Ignore it. Forget it. It's done. And then this
That
week
was
they
a dream. That was a dream sequence within the minds of the audience. It doesn't really happen.
It didn't happen.
Really happen.
And this week they have that just the roof sequence where just it's happening, folks. It is on like Donkey Kong.
I just like it so much better this time.
It is good. It is good. It's a much better rekindling of this. A second attempt, part 2, a redux, a redo. Yeah.
And in his old spiel about, he's lost a patient, sort of made me think about life a little bit, and how he asked her to be Violet's guardian if something happened to him.
Which people are saying, oh, well, Finn already asked Elizabeth to do that. In the time where that stuff didn't happen. Okay.
Yes.
Everything from the end of Peter in the freezer, where Elizabeth is, where she's doing all that stuff, to Curtis getting shot.
Yes.
Didn't happen.
And the reason why they had to abandon that and lead us to believe it never happened is because they didn't go with Matt and I's plot beat of making her
Biz
and Liz.
Because Biz is who was raised, and then Liz is who is now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Opportunity there, but you never know. You could circle back around.
Would we expect, random question from Melissa, would we accept Greg Vaughn recast back to General Hospital as Nicholas rather than Lucky? And I would say no.
I would say no as well. Just
because he's already played Lucky. If he didn't play Lucky, then I would be a little more into it. But since he already played Lucky, that's like playing.
He doesn't have correct look for it either.
To me, that's like playing. Gosh, what's a good like? It's like playing your hero and their rival, and then swapping that. you know that movie Face Off with like Nicolas Cage and
Yes,
John
and John
Travolta,
Travolta.
where John Travolta was the cop who turned into Nicolas Cage, who was the bad guy, and then Nicolas Cage turned into John Travolta, who was the good guy. It's like that.
Uh-huh.
It's too, to me, it would be too weird to play your own rival.
Yeah.
Especially during the,
I
you know,
I wonder though, when we do get Nicholas back, and we're going to get Nicholas back, you guys. We just don't know when. We're going to get Nicholas back. Like Matt said, when Jeannie comes home from her vacation.
Mhm.
And, she gets quick scan. She's going to find him eventually. My point is, she's going to find Nicholas. I wonder if it's going to still be Adam Huff, or will it be another
I
person
don't
again.
know. I would hope so. I think that Adam Husk got enough attention. I think that he impressed enough people, at least in the fan base, for them to give him a legitimate shot. You know how they talk about those 2 days, 10 days contracts?
Yep.
Give him a 6 months, give him a year on contract. See where it goes from that and make a decision. Is this working out, or should we find something else to do?
Mm-hmm.
I think they should. Greg Vaughn isn't available, says Amelia. Well, we know that. We know that. Sometimes it's just fun to think about stuff, even if it's not.
But you have
like
to
that.
remember, though, yes, he's not available for that. You're right. However, well,
You never know what's-
Wally Kurth pulls it off.
There you go, Ma. Funny, because Melissa just said, Amelia, Wally Kurth does both. It's like you're reading the chat today. You're just on the same wavelength as them.
Yeah.
Jeannie says, to never see Liz's parents are going to be too soon. Bring back Tasha Yar. Denise Crosby, you can come back. You can be Elizabeth's mom any day of the week. I'm happy with that.
I would be happy
we
with
know
that
he's
too.
not going to GH, Amelia. Thank you for setting the record straight, though.
I would be okay with her mom coming back. Her mom coming back strong, assertive, and kick that fool aside.
Well, because she left strong, assertive, and kicked that fool aside when Nicholas was like, "Good, you're here. You can help me manipulate Elizabeth into continuing to help me." And she's like, "Are you effing kidding me? Hey, Elizabeth, you know what Nicholas is trying to do? Okay, I'm out of here. Bye, guys."
Uh-huh. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
Mama Cat inherently understands women named Melissa, is what Melissa just says.
Well, that's
you have
true.
a lot of experience understanding of Melissa, so.
Oh, I know a lot about life with a Melissa. Yes, I do.
So anyway, yeah. So no, Greg Vaughn is not coming to General Hospital. We were just musing. We were just thinking, no, what it would be fun if.
And
That's
I
just
mean,
what we do
I know
sometimes.
some of you guys watch Days, but he does a great job over there.
He does. I think he's pretty secure on Days of Our Lives, honestly. I mean, to a point where he got COVID. They have I guess, a long recast, and just, come on back, sir.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a little while ago. But hey, people like New Eric.
And how can he possibly leave Days? He's so busy impregnating people over
I
there.
know, he's just the father of every new child over on that show. He's got a lot of kids to raise. He's becoming the Nick Cannon of Salem, really. So anyway, that's it, folks. That's it for me. That's it. I'm getting on this elevator. Are you done? I'm done.
Let's get on the elevator.
We did this thing for it's our usual hour and a half. That's plenty. Get out of here, folks. Go have some Sunday. Get on that elevator. Be done. Like and subscribe to the video. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Follow us on Twitter at 10th Floor GH. All that kind of fun stuff. But get out of here. First floor, you got a parking garage. It's safe. It's so safe at Port Charles right now. You're not going to worry about nothing in this parking garage.
And you guys can reach us all over the place. You reach us on Facebook.
You can.
Reach us on Twitter.
We are on Facebook.
And
We're on
you
the
can
X.
reach us. Yeah, we're on the X. And can you reach us on the Insta?
Yeah, you can reach us on Instagram as well. I mean, when it comes down to it, I don't have a thing to proliferate all of these social media accounts, nor do I have a producer or any sort of, somebody who's telling me what to do. So
No.
I can't say that I post a lot on these other things, but they do exist and they do get some activity and some things on them, and you can always reach us on them because those messages, they hit this phone, which shines me in this weird purple light. Only because it's so dark in my room. Anyway, yeah. So anyway, get out of here. Finn and Liz are still boring, says Caroline. Whatever. You don't have to like it. But get out of here. Go on to the first floor. Get into your cars. Turn your radios to previous episode to the 10th floor, which you can find on all of your favorite podcasting platforms. But if you want to access 100% of our audio library. You have to do it through Podbean, as I've learned. Podbean is the platform that hosts us. So if you download their app Podbean, then you can get 100% of our shows. As it turns out, I looked on iTunes and stuff. It goes to episode 80 and up. So I'm going to assume once I post this, it's going to be episode 81 and up, and 82 and up, and 83 and up, as we continue to post more things. I've done no research as to why this is. I don't know if I can fix it. Maybe I can. Maybe I can't. I don't know. But if you want to go back and go all the way back to number one, you have to do it through the home hosting platform. So
yeah, that's over 3 years of weekly podcasts.
I cannot imagine the vast majority of people are super interested in going and listening to episode 50 of the 10th Floor, unless that was your favorite episode. I'm not saying don't do that. I'm just saying that the likelihood of somebody being interested in doing that is slim. So don't worry too much about it. There's still plenty of 10th Floor that you can find on all your podcasting platforms.
That's true. But if you want to hear us commentate all about Shiloh, go back to that old stuff.
Go back to that old stuff. Yeah, check it out. Check it out. Anyway. So you can find us on all your favorite podcasting platforms, though. Okay? Subscribe to the channel there. Subscribe to the channel here on YouTube. Leave a comment. Leave a review. Rate us 5 stars. All that kind of stuff, depending on where you find us. Because the more you interact with our channels everywhere out there, the more we're going to show up on search engines. Share links. All that kind of stuff. Help us out. Spread the word of the 10th Floor.
Yes, please.
And that's it. Go spend some time with your families. I've been Matt.
I've been Kat.
And we'll catch you next time right here on the 10th Floor. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye, guys.